Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, listen, I told you guys a long time ago, in 2022, we're going to set a whole new standard for covering boxing. So I would advise everybody, when I make these videos, whether it be about the big cards, the small cards, the club shows, watch them all, because you're gonna learn something new about boxing, and it's gonna put you ahead of the curve of the people in boxing by knowing these fighters, because these fighters may be fighting on show boxing, they might be fighting on Showtime or Top Rank or any other big boxing promotional company in the near future. So this is one of those cards that definitely fits that description. ProBox Promotion, shout out to the fine folks at ProBox Promotions, Gary Jonas, what's his name, Daniel, my boy Daniel. And what's the other guy's name? Chris Glover, who I think does matchmaking for them as well. Shout out to all of them. Plant City, Florida, February 25th. I will try my best to be at this card. I want to go to this card. Main event is one I'm very excited for. I'm very excited for this fight because, you know, you got two welterweight fighters. One is undefeated. One is battle tested. He's 19-3. You got New York's very own, but South Florida's adopted very own, Pistol Pete Dobson, Peter Dobson, 14-0. You know, one of the best kept secrets in the welterweight division. He's looking to get his career to continue his ascension, because for those that know and for those that don't know, Pistol Pete Dobson, you know, been a really good fighter in these gyms quietly for years. You know, been in camps with all the top fighters like Terrence Crawford, like Adrian Broner, like Jerron Ennis. Your favorite fighters know Pistol Pete Dobson, and they've been getting that working with him. You know, he's gotten a couple decent wins. You know, he won the the WBC USMBC title in 2017 when he defeated then undefeated welterweight Jeremy J. Flash Nichols, who I also know a little bit about from seeing him spar in the gyms in Vegas. He also fought 16-0 undefeated prospect as the underdog Emmanuel Medina in Las Vegas on that Pacquiao versus Thurman undercard, and he absolutely sparked him out in 5 rounds, and it really kind of showed you the fighter that Pete could be. And then he had promotional issues, didn't fight for a year and a half, moved down to South Florida, got with Jeff Poritz, Kevin Gleason, and the fine folks at Beta Bay Boxing, one of the best gyms in the world. And he's gotten active since then, got Ryan Rickey as his manager, had 3 fights last year in South Florida, and now he's looking to start 2022 with a bang as he takes on the veteran Jose Miguel Borrego. Now, Borrego is a guy that's, you know, 19-3. He's battle tested. He's been in the ring with some quality operators. He's durable. You know, in his 3 losses, Borrego has never ever been stopped. You know, he's 23 years old. He has 23 fights. Been in there with some names we know as boxing fans. Been in there with the likes of Cameron Creel. Fought Cameron Creel to UD, so it kind of shows you his level. He's a decent fighter. Fought Juan Heraldez and took him the distance. Actually dropped Heraldez in round 9. He's a really tough Mexican fighter. You know, beating a couple guys that I'm familiar with on his resume. He beat Kevin Watts, who I know Kevin Watts beat. Who did Kevin Watts beat? Let me see, because I know boxing, man, but sometimes it's hard for me to memorize all this stuff. Kevin Watts, he knocked out Ryan Carl. Yeah, so Kevin Watts fought Ryan Carl, knocked him out. Borrego beat Kevin Watts. And Borrego's beating John Delperdang, who's solid, you know, okay club fighter. So, you know, he's shown his level. He's a good, durable fighter. Someone that, if you're a guy like Pistol Pete Dobson, if your conditioning is not on point, if you don't do your work in the gym, you will get severely exposed in this fight. And I think it's a chance for Pete Dobson to really make a statement, because like I said, this guy's been in there with some quality operators. And Borrego has never been stopped ever before in his entire career. So if Pete stops him, that puts a big feather in his cap. And I'm looking at Pete Dobson maybe in the middle of the year, in the summertime, springtime, getting a fight on TV so people can know who he is, because this is a guy that, you know, I'm not talking out of my ass when I talk about Pete Dobson. Pete Dobson, I've seen him spar, I've seen him train, I know what he's about, I know what his strengths are, I know what his weaknesses are. He's got the talent, he's got the ability to really be a factor in the welterweight division, but he's got to put it together in this fight with Borrego. And it's not out of the realm of possibility that we see Pistol Pete Dobson fighting a big name, you know, in the next 18 to 24 months. I really believe that if he can get his career going and keep it active, you know, I really think Pistol Pete Dobson will be a fighter that in the next 18 to 24 months will be involved with some big fights on TV. And you never know, boxing, you're only one phone call away from being in a big fight. You know, we've seen that recently with Steve Gaffar, you know, he didn't win the fight against Joe Smith, but he had his opportunity. You know, you're always that one phone call away, so you never know what can happen in boxing. But you know, apart from Pete Dobson versus Borrego, which I think is a brilliant fight, and I'm very excited about it. You got a couple other fights on the card. You got you know, Mark Reyes Jr., who's coming off that loss last year to Janos and Figueroa. You know, he's still a prospect that people are high on in the welterweight division. You know, he's taking on welterweight veteran Eric Bonet. You know, and Eric Bonet, the same Eric Bonet that fought Sean Porter back in the day. So Reyes is trying to get his career back on track. You know, you got Kanat Islam trying to sort out his fight now, because he was actually supposed to be the main event on this card. His opponent got COVID, so now he's fighting a TBA. That's why this card got postponed, because this fight was supposed to happen on January 25th. Now it's February 25th. But Kanat Islam, he's in line for big things. But Kanat Islam right now, as it stands, if we're just being honest, and we're being talking about the position that he's at in his career, you know, Kanat Islam, as old as he is, he's at a good position in the middleweight division. You know, right now as it stands, Kanat Islam is ranked number 8 in the WBO. So I mean, he was actually ranked higher before the rankings got updated, but I guess now he's been dropped, because he was as high as like 5 or 6 or 4 at one point. Now he's 8. But you know, he could be a guy that in the future, if like Bubu Andrade vacates the belt and decides to move up, maybe he's a guy that winds up fighting for a vacant belt. You know, he's not too far away from a title shot, so you know, you're gonna want to watch out for him to see what he does. You know, you got a couple fighters on this card that I'm very high on, a prospect that I think the world of. I can't say enough good things about him. Nigel Lopez, you know, he's someone that you know, I saw him sparring in the gym 2 or 3 years ago in South Florida when he was getting ready for the Golden Gloves. Now he's a pro. He's 2-0 with 2 knockouts from Atlanta, Georgia. Got a lot of upside. Got a really good jab, strong jab, good right hand, good left hook. Has a lot of things going for himself, Nigel Lopez, and I really do believe that he's got world championship potential. You know, I really do think that. Money Powell the fourth is on the card. So look, there's definitely people on this card to watch. If you're not familiar with the names I'm saying, people, like, please, I don't know if there's gonna be any television for this fight. If there is, I'll let you guys know. But if there's a way you could watch this fight, this card, I advise that you do, because there's a lot of fighters on this card that are gonna be inching their way towards big fights, world title shots, and there's guys on this card that are future stars. So I'll leave it at that. Pistol Pete Dobson, supporting him. My guy, Beta Bay Boxing, stand up. You know, hopefully if he wins this fight, maybe he can fight Harold Calderon, because that's a fight that I still want to see, even though Harold Calderon don't want to, you know, doesn't think he has to fight him. I would still love that fight on Showbox. I think it'd be really good, and it would sell really well in South Florida. But you know, that's another discussion. That's another discussion for another day. Pete Dobson has to take care of Borregos. You know, Juan Carlos Borregos. So you know. Not Juan Miguel Borrego, not Juan Miguel Borrego. He has to take care of Juan Miguel Borrego. So make it that what you will. Leave your comments down below. Make sure you take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button, and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God bless.